I'm making this video here on the Diwali festival. First of all, I must tell you that my favorite and special author, one Ellen G. White, she says that in the last days, Eastern religions will dominate the West. And we see it from the 60s when certain musicians will go down to Africa and to India and try to, incorporate some of the services they have, the demonic services and so on into the music, hopefully through subliminal. I'm not sure what they were trying, whether they wanted to make the record popular or whether they wanted to immerse us subconsciously or unconsciously into the religions of the East. But some way, somehow, it happens now that it's becoming common. And it is so different that they come into yoga and different other things, karate and so on. They take it to the next level to get into the Eastern religions. The question, though, you ask yourself is like, those societies aren't necessarily doing well. Africa, India, and so on. So, what in that society I should find exciting when you live in a society, North America, Europe, that has definitely excelled and doing well. And so that's the first level that I need to deal with. Now, having grown up in the Caribbean, I had the experience of living close to people that were from India, China, Portugal, Africa. And many of them are practicing those same things that they have over there. We call it voodoo. Not voodoo, we call it obia in my country, and other places they call it. Or I guess the Haitian thing is voodoo, and the African thing down in the Caribbean is obia. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, so in Trinidad, I was married, and I was living in an East Indian area. I might be the only black person living in that area. And I tried to be very neighborly, and I wanted to be friendly. I wanted to participate just to show that, I'm part of the community. But, I mean, I know that Indian people practice things that aren't straight just like Africa. They call it evil. And the same Diwali thing, I bought the same little earthen-made thing with the oil and then the wick, and then I lit it on the nights and put it on the fence. We were having some experiences in our home. We find that things were kind of like brushing up against us in the whole 9 yards, and I can understand what was happening. Our daughter, would be looking in the corner and smiling and so on, and as a baby, and mom talked to somebody who said that this probably is the problem. So what she did, she burned the whole stuff and tried to ask her when I went down and said, "Where's the stuff?" I don't know how I know to ask where it was. See what I'm saying? And she said she burnt it, and that was the end of that. But from the Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, there's a thing here on Diwali, and if I could read a little bit of it, it makes the point that, so it says, the name Diwali or Divali is a contraction of Deepavali, which translates into row of lamps. Diwali involves the lighting of small clay lamps with filled with oil to signify the triumph of good over evil. These lamps are kept on during the night, and one's house is cleansed, both done in order to make the goddess Lakshmi feels welcome. Firecrackers are burst because they believe it drives away evil spirits. During Diwali, all the celebrants wear new clothes and share sweets and snacks with family members and friends. Now, this is old-time foolishness because they're saying that firecrackers will run evil spirits away. And I mean, that is so ridiculous. These demons have survived the flood and the burning of Sodom and Gomorrah and all this kind of stuff. I don't see a little firecracker running. But it's instructive, and this is what we were feeling. We were feeling that some presence in our house. And according to this article, it says that these lamps are kept on through the night as to make the goddess Lakshmi feel welcome. Now, Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. Now, there's another part that says the festival starts with Dhanteras, on which small Indian businesses community begin their financial year. The second day of the festival is called the Naraka Chaturdasi. The third day of Diwali marks the worship of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. The fourth day is known as that. The fifth day is referred to all that stuff and so on. But see, so Diwali is worshiping the goddess Lashmi. Now I'll tell you something about Mother Lashmi here. Indian people believe that, and it's clear from this writing, and I'm sure it was done by somebody in India. Uh, Many black people admire Indians how they progressed and prospered, and they may even marry one of the boys or one of the girls, and they will definitely distinguish themselves and start doing better because they have, even though they're not into the Indian voodoo and all that, they do things differently. You will meet an Indian girl and say, look, I like you and everything and so on, and you will move into an empty house, sitting down on some box or something. She'll buy you cigarettes and give you how much you need to smoke per day and so on. And she and you work and you save the money up. And instead of buying a bunch of furniture, you buy a car first. A car could use as a taxi, or you buy at a house or something. So eventually, they can come back and get the things, and they'll be ahead of the game. So when they turn ready to marry, they have money to give them. Now, I know some blacks, though, who have not necessarily married into the family, married to an Indian person, but they decided to get involved in this kind of worship of Mother Lashmi. And it's very serious because when you make that commitment and you start getting that money and all that, you have to keep up that devotion. Now, we ask Indian people now, if that room that you designate every day you're going to be finding money, I mean, don't people, if you spend $100 at the store, don't they come back and ask you, you brought $100 bill, I can't find it, just disappeared. No, nobody could say anything like that, so I don't know where the money comes from. If it's Mother Lashmi makes the money or she takes it from somewhere and brings it here, I'm not sure how it goes. But as I'm saying, that some blacks tried, and I recall we have some bizarre experiences with them. This black guy hanging out with us at the corner, and it seems as if he's a part of this Indian worship Mother Lashmi thing. And a stone came over the roof and over the house and hit him in his chest, so bam, up, and fell on the ground. So people ducking and trying to run out there. He said, no, don't go away, it's for me. You see, he hadn't been doing his devotions. The thing with God, the God of the Bible and the true God of Israel is that when you slack up in him, he cries for you and he wishes that you will pleads with you that you'll come back because he really loves you and he wants you to succeed and to be happy and to be with him and comes in heaven. But the devil's, it's not about that, get you ensnared by whatever form and then kill you. So this guy slapped up in his devotion and got a big reminder, a big stone. Now that stone hit him in his head. I don't know if it would have killed him or they didn't want to kill him, just want to let him understand that he had to come get his devotions going. Some other people who are into the same thing, we will see the house is on fire. Fire is coming through the door and through the window, big smoke. And we call the fire brigade. When they come, the fire is out mysteriously and nothing is scorched. The firemen inspect the place and there's no evidence. Of course, several people confirm that, yes, we did see the fire and the whole 9 yards. And, but then the firemen understand. They understand this mystery. So when I see CNN and other people are encouraging people to send in pictures of Diwali, and they seem to be encouraging it, we have also yoga. I'm not sure if these folks understand what they're getting into. Because when you get into these Eastern Indian religions, especially in the African religions, oh, you're in some serious trouble. I mean, look India, for example. I mean, as I said, folks are going down there and trying to get wise, hooking up with the wise men and all this stuff, that Mara Shogis and them. And when you look at the society in real terms, with all this Mother Lashmi who could help you to get rich, the majority of people in India are poor. So if this was something that really works, why not every Indian who practices Diwali got a big car and got some big land and some big money in the bank? So, it's just like a game, like it's a farce. Yes, we know people in the Caribbean who have money and they're going to attribute it to Mother Lashmi and so on. And as I said, they do things they invest the money. Like in Trinidad, when oil in 73, when the oil crisis came and money started to flow, in their temples, they have people who advise them. And the advice was that everybody go and get a job, get the money, go to the bank and buy this whole property here. Because with inflation, while the money, the mortgage was $1,000 and people were making like 100, so you had to have 10 persons working for that. Eventually, when cost of living rise, people will be making like 4,000 instead of 1,000, so they could make that payment and no problem. And they just keep going ahead and buying more things, and as inflation come on, they gather in wealth and so on. And so they do things like that, and some people might think that this is what Mother Lashmi does. But I would caution folks now. You don't want to try that because, in my experience, of course, I was kind of as I said, I was just trying to be friendly and neighborly with the people, not necessarily I wanted to be like them or I wanted to incorporate their Indian worship into my life. But it's something else, man. And I mean, people in North America don't have these experiences and they don't seem to be reading into these things. They just jump into it. Look, another thing, the tattooing themselves, the piercing themselves, all that go along with these Eastern religions.